Hello buddy, watching the Haunt channel, and today what I'm making a video on is an unboxing and review of the Spirit Halloween 2023 from Killer Klowns Outer Space Slim. So before I open this guy, I got this guy back in November 1st actually at the half off sale, and I was working at Spirit, so I used my employee discount on top of that. And I got a nice deal out of him. He was originally $400, which is way overpriced in my opinion. You know, everything's rising, unfortunately, which sucks. So $400 is definitely a lot for this guy. So I took advantage of my discount and the half off, and I was able to get it for a pretty good deal. And, you know, if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have gotten him because he's really expensive normally. But anyways, yeah, I'm setting him up now because I am going to be using him for something coming up. But yeah, and it's really cool to have him because Killer Klowns Outer Space, I love that movie, and I also do own Shorty, which I got back in 2021, and I did make a video of when I got him. And Spirit has, like, you know, the whole license with Killer Klowns and stuff now. So I have several stuff from that Spirit's produced from Killer Klowns, like Sidesteppers and some of the guns, which are pretty cool. But yeah, we have Slim here. Now, take a good look at the box. It's really big. Show the sides there. He has these handles nice right there. It shows the sides of him on there. And then the back right here really doesn't show much. It's just his name, and then his price sticker of $400 is right up there. So, let's go ahead and get him open. He is made by Party Time, which isn't the best, but oh well. So let's just start by taking everything out here. So here we have his big costume. His big shoes, that's one of them. And then we have the other one. Instructions in this plastic bag, but I'm sure we don't really need those because the setup seems pretty straightforward. Let's see what else we can get out of here. Here we have the popcorn bag. It's all pretty tightly packed, but right here, if I can get it out. His head is in this bag, and we'll be able to get a closer look when I take that out, but his head's most likely to form like most of them. Everything else seems to pretty much be zip tied in here. So, I get the arms and stuff out though, they're all kind of stuck in here. So the rest of this is pretty much zip tied together, it looks like. So I will cut that, and then once it's all laid out, I will give you guys a better shot of what else is in this box. Alright, so the rest of the pieces were kind of together. I still haven't really cut them, but I was able to get them out of the box. But basically what else we have in the box is the big base, poles, his arms, his hip loop, adapter, his other arm, and then of course the whole module. So I will be putting this guy together, and then I will come back when he's all set up. So here's Slim all set up, and he's pretty big. I mean, I've obviously seen him many times throughout the season, but when he's not in the store and you don't have like the biggest space, he's definitely looks a lot bigger. But he's so cool. I mean, it makes him more accurate to the movie because he is a really big clown in the movie. So yeah, we have him all here. So I will go ahead and activate him, and then we can go over what he's all about. So let me go ahead and plug him in. Alright, so as you can see, he works. And now I'm going to review him. So, since we just activated him, I guess we can go over animation first. The animation of this thing is fine for how he is. The mouth moves, which I really do like. Shorty doesn't move, but I don't know, Shorty's fine as is, and I don't think his mouth really needs to move, but Slim makes more sense because he's laughing, so I really do like the fact they added a moving mouth. Other than that, honestly, the movement that he does have besides that is kind of lackluster, because he goes in, and then his arms close, and then he just stays like that, and then his mouth just moves when he's laughing, and then, like, you know, he's not laughing like the whole time, he just pauses, so he just kind of stays still as the music goes, and it kind of looks weird, and then obviously he goes back up when he's done. And I don't know, when he's doing that, he just kind of looks weird and just so lackluster. So I honestly, like, I know you can undo the relay, but they should have done this, like, anyways, so you don't have to do that, because I would prefer it if he went down, like, up and down a few times, instead of just doing that once and going back up at the end. Because I don't know, I don't really like that long pause. It makes him look kind of weird, so, and I don't know, it doesn't really seem good. So if he went up and down a few times, I think that'd be a lot better. But yeah, I showed him 2 times. I couldn't really go hold like the biggest shot because of, you know, he's so big, he takes up a lot of room. And yeah, and then so I showed him, it closed the popcorn stuff, which I'll mention this now. I wish he had something better. Like, sure, this is in the movie and whatnot, but I wish they could have done something better. Like, he could have had like a cotton candy gun, for instance, and, you know, he could have been like zapping that, make his arm go up and down. But I mean, I'm sure it's probably because, like, you know, they want to make this thing cheap, so they just added this little popcorn bag. Out of anything they could have used, they just chose that. And yeah, you can see it has the decal, and I know, like, some people said, like, that they are probably, and I'm sure people have done it, they were going to glue, like, other, like, real popcorn or something on it so it looks more realistic instead of just the decal, which that's cool. I can see why they didn't add that, and it's just the decal instead. But yeah, I don't know, I wish he had a different item. I wish he had more movement. But the way he is, I just, like, the movement's fine for how he is. I just do wish he went up more up and down, because it honestly make him look better. But here's the bag. It has the different designs. And so yeah, you know, it doesn't really do a whole lot animation-wise, but look at the face here. Now, the one thing that does suck, well, I mean, first of all, it's party time, like I mentioned, and honestly, they're a pretty cheap company, so they don't really do the best stuff. But I at least wish they could have made the face a bit more accurate. Like, if you look at the sample one on here, the face on that looks really good. And I know there were sample Slims at Flagship, which some people got, and their faces look really good. I wish that the rest could have been produced like that, but as you can see, that's not the case. But this looks a lot better. But, and then instead you're like this. So I remember in 2021 they released, Party Time released, because Party Time makes masks and costumes too, they made a Slim and Shorty mask, which the Shorty mask looks like the prop, and people were expecting them to have a Slim in 2022, which you know, whenever he came out, which he did for 2023, I was expecting him to look like this, honestly. Like, the moving mouth's good, which I like, as I said, but there was a mask of Slim, and I knew it was gonna look exactly like that, and sure enough it did, but has the open mouth because of the movement. But yeah, like, exactly like the mask, and the mask was not good. It looks pretty cheap, honestly, and terrible. And then they pretty much used that face here. So I really wish to use the sample. And another thing that's bad about the released ones is the face deformities. They get awful. Mine honestly isn't too bad. I've seen a lot worse. It still could have been better. Like, obviously the size of the mouth, kind of weird. Just needs to be stuffed a bit, I'd say. But you see it's kind of deformed around there. And it kind of sinks in here because the latex is actually pretty thin and will probably dry. Like, it'll last a bit, but when the time comes, it probably won't take it too long to dry rot because it is all latex and it's pretty thin. It's not really stuffed. The nose is stuffed with stuffing, but that's pretty much it. And then just has a regular shell inside, but yeah, it's not really stuffed or anything. It's a little bit sunken in there, but I know it's kind of hard because the movement melt, but still, they have pretty bad face deformities. Mine's okay, but still could have been better. And then when you look at it like this, I know it's because he has a big nose, but it kind of makes him look cross-eyed, but you can see what he looks like there. But I've seen him better than this anyways. Even if, you know, there's some released ones that still look okay, but nothing compares to those samples, because the samples are probably the best you're going to get. And those are the only samples, because all the released ones are pretty much crap, so that kind of sucks. He's a nice fluffy hair. He has the weird head thing up there. Another thing I'll say is the audio. So it has the same exact audio as the Slim Side Stepper that was released in 2022. That was by SLA. So, and this is Party Time, but they use the same exact audio for the Slim Life Size here and the Side Stepper. The costume isn't horrible. I mean, I like how it gives it form. And, I mean, I don't know, I'd say it's, for the most part, it's accurate to the film. Could be a little bit better, but, I mean, it's fine. You got the ruffle here with the IR sensor, which that's actually pretty good. The IR sensor is great because it is actually really sensitive. So, I just saw it activated on mine, obviously, so it works great. The hands here, they're not like the cheap plastic, like, if they're not going to crack if you, like, squeeze them. If you did try that, but they still kind of look somewhat cheap, so it's not the best plastic, but it's not going to crack either. So it's in the middle, but still could have been better plastic. Here's the nails, a little bit of paint scratched off of that, but that's not really, that's just a little error there. But yeah, detail could be a bit better on the hands too, but I mean, I guess it gets the point across, but you know, this is just a retail animatronic, so I'm not going to expect much. And here's the other hand, which is pretty much the same. Yeah, he's got glitter on there. His costume gives a lot of form. And then his shoes right there in a ginormous base. The shoes are plastic too. He's a little bit better than the hands though, but yeah. The black bag's a little glittery. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much Slim. We'll go to the back here because I do want to talk about this for a little bit. So when you're setting this guy up, his setup's honestly pretty straightforward. The only kind of issue that you might have that is because the costume's so big and puffy because it gives it form. It you just have to like kind of work with it to maneuver it a bit to get it on right. But you can, you know, it's manageable. It just kind of annoying, but it's what it is what it is. But another thing I'll mention here is you can kind of avoid this. The hip loop here, you just slides in right there. But on the instructions, it says you should zip tie it into place, which will probably secure it more. And they do include 4 zip ties for you to use, which you only need to use 1. But obviously, they just include extra, obviously. But I activated mine, and I'm not going to keep this guy up for a while. So, you know, I'm probably going to take him down. So there's no need for me to waste a zip tie on that. And as you can see with me activating it, it did not pop out at all. So you don't have to put the zip tie on. So, yeah, it's not necessary, I'd say. Basic controls, volume knob right there for volume control. You can use a tri-me or step pad. The jack's there, and then he has a external speaker jack. 3 modes, which is sensor, step pad, and just off. And then he also takes batteries on the other side, so he takes both adapter and batteries. But most people prefer to use adapter, which I'm using. So, but Party Time at least gives you the option if adapter doesn't always work for you. So here, and there's his controls and everything. So yeah, I mean, that's Slim. It is Party Time, so it is what it is. It could be better. He's fine as is, but yeah, definitely could have a bit more of improvements, but whatever. And $400 is definitely a lot for this guy. I only really, like I said, if I didn't get him for the discount I got him for at the sale, that I probably wouldn't have ended up with him. But yeah, so much stuff's so overpriced at this point, just ridiculous. So $400 for all this stuff just isn't worth it. So yeah, and I think that's all I gotta say about him. I do wish he could be a bit better, but it's a party time retail animatronic, so I'm not gonna expect much. But I like the Killer Klowns movie, and even though they could improve, I don't know. I'm just gonna say he's fine as is, whatever. So yeah, that's Slim. I think that's all I gotta really say about him. Give you one last look. He is really wide. I have obviously seen him many times in the store throughout the season, but obviously when he's not in the store and he's like, he kind of takes up a lot of room for the most part inside a house, so he definitely looks a little bit bigger. But yeah, he's a big clown in the movie, so it all makes sense. Actually, one more thing I'll say, the quality also is not the best because it's party time. I don't plan on using him this much, so I've seen some where the welding will eventually snap. I've seen it plenty of times on Leatherface. We've all seen it, and I've seen it happen to a few Slims, but since I don't really plan to use him that much, I think he'll be fine. But quality can definitely be, that's another thing that they could improve on, but it's whatever, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's finally it, all I gotta say about this guy. So that's Slim from Killer Klowns from Outer Space and Spirit Halloween and Party Time. One last view, he's pretty wide. And yeah, that's Slim. Oh yeah, and this just velcros to this. So, for the straps. But yeah, okay. So, that is Slim. And that's it. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.